Countries A and B have been at war against each other for 30 years over a big area of land that is located in their borders. The land consists of rainforest, suitable farmlands, and rich mineral resources. It also suspected to have oil reserves underground. The community that lives in this area is composed of people who have never been clear about their national loyalties, but for the simple reason that they do not recognize these borders. They have been living the area long before countries A and B had national territories. They, therefore, would like to be left alone to go back and forth between the two borders. Countries A and B, however, want to exploit the resources of this borderland. They started supporting leaders in this community, secretly at first, but later on with open economic assistance. This association created tensions within the community that soon worsened into an open factional rivalries between its leaders. The factional rivalries started over how assistance was to be shared and then moved to composition over elected positions. The rivalry took a turn for the worse when countries A and B began supplying their allies with arms and military training, especially after they both realized the security problems this borderland caused. It did not take long before conflict between the two factions came out in the open. This mini war spread and seriously affected the community, dividing families and pitting friends and relatives against each other. And then suddenly, the two countries were sending their armies into the borders supposedly to help keep the peace, but in reality, to fight alongside their local allies. The war was intense. Thousands perished and were injured, but, what was clear was that no side was winning. Eventually, exhausted by the war, countries A and B began to realize how much resources they wasted in this war. The protagonists agreed to temporary truce. They also asked the help of the United Nations in terms of bringing in a peacekeeping force to stand between the two sides and negotiate how to turn the truce into a lasting peace.
UN peacekeeping helps countries navigate the difficult path from conflict to peace. We have unique strengths, including legitimacy, burden sharing, and an ability to deploy troops and police from around the world, integrating them with civilian peacekeepers to address a range of mandates set by the UN Security Council and General Assembly. Peacekeeping is one of the most effective tools available to the United Nations in the promotion and maintenance of international peace and security. So as a peacekeeper, I have the duties and responsibilities in promoting world peace. So the first thing I will do is that as a peacekeeper, I will monitor and observe peace processes in post-conflict areas and assist ex-combatants in implementing the peace agreements they may have signed. Also, I will deploy and sustain troops and police from around the two countries, integrating them with civilian peacekeepers to advance multidimensional mandates. In the first phase, violent conflict between parties is going. So at this point, the objective of peacemaking is to end the violence between the contending parties before peacekeeping forces enter the scene. As a ceasefire has been negotiated, but conflict remains, the chief, the chief purpose of UN peacekeeping forces, therefore, is to reduce tensions between parties in conflict once a ceasefire has been negotiated so that peaceful relations can resume. So security threats have been diminished to the point that peaceful relations can resume. But often the state and civil society had been so ravaged by war that external efforts are required to rebuild infrastructure, political institutions, and trust among the contending parties. For this, peace building or nation building efforts are required. And lastly, as a peacekeepers, I will protect civilians, actively protect, uh, actively prevent conflict, reduce violence, strengthen security, and empower national authorities to assume these responsibilities. Thank you.